YouTube, is Brian Proctor back again with another video, and this is going to be a part 2 to a video I did a while back about drawing the male anatomy. Oh, so simple, if I'm not mistaken. And that was just kind of a spur of the moment thing, and people love it. A lot of people got a lot out of it, and it's just drawing it from one side. So I decided to go ahead and do a follow-up and draw that again from the other side so that you won't be just stuck drawing one side. So, okay, first off, you'll probably notice the big piece of editing that I did because something didn't come out right. So I'm just going to draw this first part over again and then recheck it out to see if it's worth putting up. So the first thing you want to do is draw the oval. Some people draw an egg shape. I tend to draw an oval. And remember, this oval or this egg shape is round. So if you imagine taking an egg, and that comes out later on the video, and you draw a line on the egg, that line is going to be round because that egg is a round shape. It will not be straight up and down, so it's going to be round. So that's just something to keep in mind for later. Now, the only time that will be straight is if you take that egg and you draw a line and you turn it facing you. So that's the only time that line is going to be straight. So that's a straight line because this character is going to be facing straightward. So you're drawing your oval, your straight line, and you're going to make your T across, T or a cross. But you're going to save some space up here because that's going to be your shoulders. From there, at this point here, we're going to do a V, and that V is going to represent your neck, and it comes up. And you can always make that wider or narrower. Narrower, that's one of those hard words for me to say. To suit your character, and you already have your shoulders, and you can always extend those shoulders. So from here, you're going to do ovals. That's for your shoulders. Shoulders. These are your. I can never remember those. Your delts. Your delts. All right. So this is basically your rib cage here. So up here, you're going to do a U or V, depending on your choice, whichever is easy for you. This is going to be the highest point of the U or the tip of your V. So from here, from this point and that point where this circle comes down and touches the edge of this upside down triangle, you're going to go straight up to where the circle touches this line, just like that. And because the body, same thing on the other side, because the body is round, this represents where you're going to turn your chest at. So, and your bottom of your chest is just a little higher than this V. It's not going to be on the V, just a little bit above it. So I'll just do like just a bit of a curved line, and all these lines are subject to change anyway, and then up. So at that point, you're curving that chest up and back under the arm. So with that right here, touching that, you can do more of a triangle shape as well, just to kind of curve around like that. And then that represents your, as I said, your I cannot think of that name. Anyway, I'm just going to keep drawing. And then from this point here, these 2 points, that's where your bicep comes out from your delts. And then you're going to have your tricep come out behind that. So curving around like this, and under that chest, you're going to have your biceps and your triceps to come out. Now from this point, you want to come down. This is going to be your obliques, your love handles, as I used to call them. So, and they're shaped like this, not too far out, because your abs have to come down in between them. And then from the bottom of your obliques, you're going to bring this line all the way down, because that's your center line. You're going to do your crotch like that. And I think the first video I had you bringing them from here on down, which threw everything off. I couldn't figure out why, but it's going to be like that. And this is going to be just a rough sketch for now. So you're going to have your lats come down and you curve in, and usually really muscular. You have this one because your lats actually take over and go around the back from there, and that also helps to do your ribs, and I'll get into that in a second. And from this, you want to bring your legs out from here, and you have to be able to gauge how long your legs are so that you don't really have too shorter legs or too longer legs. But this is a quick rough. And then you have your major muscles, and I don't know what these muscles are called. And you have this one from here in the center. It curves up, kind of like almost like a teardrop, shall we say, or water falling. And then you have another one that comes lower, the same thing, it just comes lower. And I really don't do a lot of leg muscles because I don't know, I just don't do a lot of leg muscles. So you're going to have this V here and this V here, and then you're going to have kind of a V here at the bottom as well, and you have to get them right or they just throw itself off. So in this V, pretty much you'll have your knees. So, and your knees are not, let's just say, let me continue drawing these legs down, and I'll show you about the knee. I'll do that one and I'll show you what I did. So your knee is not in the center. If I draw a center line down this leg, your knee is not in the center. It's more over to the side. So you draw like a little diamond over to the side. This muscle here is going to bring that leg or that meat of that leg in close to that one. And on the inside, you're going to have kind of like a bulge that goes around your knee, like that, and then it's going to come into your shin bone, yeah. Then you have your calf, and then that goes down. You have the big bulge of the calf on the inside, and you have that there. So now if I can follow that, what I just did on this side, most times I'll just draw like this. Did I say the inside? It goes on the outside. What am I thinking about? Your knee goes on more on the outside. I had to draw that one to find out. Same thing, it's just more on the outside edge than the inside. Everything else is the same. So this comes around your knee, and it might be off. It probably is off when it comes into your shin bone, your calf, and then around. This one's close to your knee, and then down. And these legs off. And that's one thing you have to do is set your set things back, or stop and sit back and look at your drawing, and then see if you got it balanced or not. But this is about the torso, and the rest of the video you'll see what I'm saying. But this part was just really screwed up, so I had to redo this. So you have your bicep, and that's going to come into a V here. If you look at your arm, there should be just a point in there. I don't know if you just saw that or not. So because your arms, your muscles split like that, you have this, you come into your elbow, which you might not see too much of, and then your arm like that. And then it says V, like that, elbow, and your forearm, like so. Now, let me do the feet. So the feet, your ankles, your inside ankle is going to be higher than your outside ankle. And I'll usually just do a little slanted line like that, and that helps me to do the feet. I usually don't draw ankles, I'll just do a slanted line like that, and then my foot comes down and out, like so. It's just, it's like doing, is that on the same line? I don't know, the way I'm looking at it. It's just almost doing like a triangle, almost. Usually I'll do this more of a triangle like that, and then my leg will be here, and I'll just cut it, and then I'll just make like a wedge out of it, like so. That's an easy way to do a foot. And then you just round it off later. Your heel, your toe, that you round it off later, because most characters will have like a boots or so forth on, but this guy, he's standing straight-ish, shall we say, and I'll change that a little bit. Just bring the foot out by just lifting the toe up a little bit here. So same thing here, the outer part, you just kind of raise that up, give him a little bit of a toe there, and your ankle, if you do an ankle, and then just a little bit of an up here, which is screwed up. This is why I usually like just leave it flat, like so. And then your other ankle inside is higher than your outside, which is why I don't draw ankles. Nobody really looks at your feet and say, oh, there's no ankles. So the hands, so I'll do a fist and I'll do an open hand. So an open hand would be you coming out. It's almost like doing a triangle and then, no, I'm sorry, this way. So you're doing a triangle, you're chopping it off at the wrists, and you're doing this. Instead of going across like that, you bring it up like that. So by doing that, and this is the left hand, and it would be opposite for the right hand. From here, you're just going to do, your thumb is going to come out like that, curve around, and then your first finger, and I'll bend the fingers in. It might be a little long, but we'll see. And then your second one will come inside, and your third one there. And I usually don't do 4 fingers. And then your fist, if I can see what I'm doing, is, and I had to turn this thing upside down because for some reason I just lost it. You're doing a V. What is this? I'll get it. Okay, yeah. For whatever reason I lost it. Okay, curve here, and then you're going to do your thumb, which is that, and that's going to curve around here. So you have your palm, this little small box, which curves around, and then you do the little small letter Y, and then your finger comes up there. So if you have this here, and your you make a fist, the way it is on your finger, if you look at it, it makes it like a letter Y. So that's why you do that, and then your thumb will come out here, and it actually curves around like that. And then you just use that curve, and you just put that Y in there, and you won't really see the other finger depending on how the angle of your hand. But I usually just show that one finger, yes. I'm messing up. This is taking longer than the whole video. So back to reality from here. So this, your delt, which just comes around, it actually goes around your back. So it's going to be a little higher, and it's going to split right at this point, and it's going to actually come up. So your chest is going to curve around like that, and this is like an indentation in your chest and your arm, because as I said, it comes up here and it actually goes around your back. So that's a good opportunity to make your shoulders a little wider by maybe bringing them out a little bit more. And then you have this piece of meat here, and which leaves this little triangle shape there, and then your neck comes up to your chin, because this comes down and it curves around on the inside. It doesn't go to the back because you have muscles. If you draw your back, this is your spine, this is your shoulders, here's your tricep, no, your delts. You have the muscle that comes up to your back through your neck, from your shoulders to your neck, and then you have the front of your neck, then you have your back of your head, your skull. So your shoulders are going to be like this, like that, and these are your traps, if I'm not mistaken, trapezius muscles right there. So all of that is your traps. So which is what this is here. This is this, and it goes up into the back of your neck, up into your cranium, skull. So yeah, now doing this, you split the chest. Now if there's a V from like this to the corner, which your nipples should be about right here. Now where this comes down, where this comes across, you can do a shape like this, and then you have those 3 ribs there like this, and they're like claws, and then the rest of your ribs come around from off of those claws. So if I did it like this, your rest of your ribs tuck and they come from under that. So you have the 3, which are so small you really don't see it, and then the rest of your ribs can come up and actually connect to your stomach. Now this comes down. This doesn't go straight because you have your obliques. So this is going to actually come in, not straight down, into your obliques, and then down into your crotch. So your first, as this curve around, your first set of abs, and everybody's abs are different. All right, there, your second set are going to be smaller. These are going to be your largest abs, and these, your bottom ones, are going to be your narrowest, and then your stomach, your belly button should be about right there. And then you can actually bring, if you want to make them a little slimmer, you can bring them in a little bit more, or however. But that is how you draw the front of a character using this, which I call the Beetle, and I think I might have said it again in the video, or how I named it, the Beetle, because when I drew it the very first time, it looked like a beetle. It just reminded me of a beetle for some reason. So now with that, I'm not even going to ink this because it'll take more time. Sometimes I'll curve this muscle up here too, to let it curve around the ribs like that. But usually I don't draw that much rib. And those hands could be a little shorter. Arms could be a little bit shorter, but I'm not going to critique this. This is basically a teaching lesson. So now I'll just cut this and we'll get back to the regular video. Let's go. Let's get back to the main point that I was trying to show you guys, is your oval. And once you follow these steps, you'll be good to go. And I'm going to turn this guy just a little bit. So just a little, like that. Remember, you're going to follow that egg. So imagine if you had an egg, a boiled egg, and you took a marker and you put a line on that egg. It wouldn't go straight down like that. It would follow that egg shape. So this is basically what you want to do. Same thing again. Draw that line across. Draw. And since this is going to be the center of that V, that's that U. So just imagine if you drew a V. So if I turned it over, you're going to be off-centered. So this is the center of it. So you're going to be like this. You can use a V. You can be rounded or more sharper. But again, at this point and this point, you're going to follow this curve and bring that up. And this curve is already there because that V is, that point is there. So from here, you're going to come out with the delts, which is here again. You're going to do your chest. And again, at this point here, we're going to turn it up. And as your delts will come out like this. There's a separation right here at that collarbone. And your delts are like that. And then you have your bicep, which is in the front part, and your tricep, which is in the back part. Same thing here. Your chest is going to follow that line there. And then you have your tricep, your delt, your bicep, and your tricep. Because the way this arm is turned, you won't see too much tricep. You might not see too much. And again, have that V, and then your arm, elbow, and then your arm comes out. That little V in your arm, because as I say, your muscle separates right there. So back with this again, you're going to curve around and then down with your I just forgot what that was called. Obliques. Now, you don't have to draw them, but you just need to know that they are there and they take up space and they help lengthen or elongate a body. And let's bring this down, and then you have your crotch area like that. And then your legs come from there. And as I said, with this V, you come up with this V here on this circle, part circle. It's going to be your neck again, and you can bring that V out to give a person a wider neck or smaller neck, depending on if it's a man or a woman. You won't do a woman with this kind of a body, but you do that V all the time. And again, as I say, you have that from this. If you go straight through there, your nipples would be there. And then you'd have those 3 ribs right there. Your lats is going to come down past that. So if you want to draw the rest of the ribs, be like that. And as I said, you have your abs. This comes out and it comes in again. Down, so where the nipple is, it's going to come in. So you have your first, second, third, and then the belly button. So now let's turn that around again, turn that over again, and maybe I'll try to quickly ink one. So you have your oval, which is your torso, and we turn it around even more, following that line, like so. Your collarbone, leaving space for your shoulder, You can bring it down a little bit if you like. Then again, your V, leaving room for your chest. Your V, like so. Your point here, your point there, following this same curve, comes up like that. Then your chest. And at this point, again, it curves. So this one would curve following this, but remember, you have to understand the shape of the chest. Like so. Now, as I said, at this point here on this line, you're going to have your deltoid, because it curves into that. It kind of like, it's not part of the chest because the chest actually goes up around it. So it kind of, your chest is here and your delt kind of straps to it, and you have that little actually a little space there, that indentation. So as I say, once where that point is, it's usually a point for defined people, defined body builders, whatever. At that point is where your bicep is going to be at, because you have two parts. You have your tricep and your bicep. And your tricep is going to be behind that point and curve around and down into the elbow. That's going to be that V again, and your arm separates like that. Same thing over here, because you have your body turned, you won't see so much of this, but your arm is going to come out again. It's going to come over, and then your arm's going to come out there. And then if you want to put the arm up like that, this, again, you will see your bicep and your tricep. And your tricep is the biggest part of the arm. The bicep is not the biggest, it's the tricep. Like so. And then your shoulders, and there's that V again. And then your neck. And then you put your head on accordingly. And then your stomach in and out. And again, you want to bring that down. You have your that obliques. So bring this down, and you might see some obliques on that side, but you're going to see them because it's going to look like that. Basically, without drawing them, once you come down, it's going to be like this, and then your legs. So, but it's good to know that they're there. And as I said, your stomach, it comes in, goes out, and it comes in like that. This comes in and down to your crotch. And then your legs come out there. As you start to turn, you'll start to see some of the buttocks. Like so. And then as I say again, I usually turn that up. And then your first set, second set, third set. And your first set are going to be the bigger sets. And as it goes down, it's going to get more narrower, your abs. And then you can take that line all the way down, but you're going to cover it anyway with clothes, pretty much. So, and the third one is, let me grab another piece of paper. Hopefully I stayed in camera range and didn't go off, is side. I didn't really do arms and legs because hopefully you guys know how to do arms and legs. Your oval, and we're just going to do all the way to the side. Now usually when I do the side, I have my oval, but then I'll kind of go backwards a little bit, not straight up and down, more back just a little bit. That way I'll bring it up and I'll bring the neck, give them more of a stronger back. So you have your oval coming down. Remember, it's going to go more to the side, your back coming down. You're here, is where your collarbone is. Collarbone, yeah, that's that. This part is that dip. Let me see if you guys can see it. Yeah. This part here is this little dip here, and it's going to come down. It's not straight across. It actually comes down to the side. So you want to put that ball for the side, because this actually wraps around your back. It just doesn't end here. It actually it's like a V, and it goes around towards your back, and then it comes into that point. So, and from under here, you have your chest. So if you did this, put your chest here, and your V is going to be half like that. I should have did that first, and it's going to curve around your back. And then you have your abs that suck in, and that's why I usually pull my first ab. When I do abs, I usually pull this one back a little further than the rest, because you have this one, you have that one, and then you have that one. So when this comes around here, you're going to have that oblique again, the shape for that oblique, and this is going to come down and into the crotch. So I'll give them a little more back. So it's going to come down like this. And then your buttocks and your legs like that. So your arm, remember you're split in half, your bicep and your tricep like that, and your elbow comes in and your arm comes like that. So if I inked all of these with a Sharpie, which is not the greatest thing to ink with, it would be coming down like that. Chest would be there. So let me finish inking before I even throw that in there. That, because then you have your shoulder muscle like that, which goes to the back of your neck, your chin, and then the back of your head, your cranium. So you're coming down here, curving around. You have that first lat, and it comes in. Lat, what is wrong with me? Then you have, the arm is in the way. Yeah, okay, but the arm's going to cover up most of your art anyway. So you're going to have that. It's going to come down here and come across here. So your crotch is going to go there, and your legs are going to come out, and your hand would be somewhere here. So your buttocks would be here, and your legs, and then your neck like that. And the head would be a little bit bigger. Now, if you turned them to the side a little bit, if you didn't want a complete profile, then you would just add a little more chest to the side here, and then maybe just a little extra thing of abs there. That's all. You just didn't want complete side profile, and then you can have the arm coming out on the side there. So, and then the leg muscles, which I don't really do, and you can bring the other leg out almost like he's walking towards somebody. So with this, and I didn't do the ribs there, your shoulder, your neck, because you're going to have your shoulder muscle here, chest, and that separates, these two separate, and then your abs, that's going to be round on the side, and then you'll see some of the side, because the first abs should be touching that side, and then they come in a little bit, and these come in a little bit more, showing, leaving this oblique here. And the same thing with that. And as I say, it comes in. So you're going to have your lats start to come out here, and then this rib piece, and then those. So you're going to bring this, and I can slim this guy down a lot more, like that. And then you have this line there, separates, bicep, tricep, that, and your neck. So, and with this, and I hate using a Sharpie because it's just too fat really. That, chest, comes in, there's a little line here for your traps. I'm just gonna stop talking. Yeah, chest, that. Remember your shoulders, your neck, because there's usually a little upside down V here to show that your shoulders are really muscular. And don't forget to do your collarbone line, which I kept forgetting. And then your head, that bone here comes down. And there's probably a name for this little intersection here. I just don't know it right now. Come down. And you don't always have to draw your squares across on your abs. Like that. And that. As long as you have this and it goes down, people will realize that this person is pretty muscular. And then this last guy, which I could have made a little longer. And this Sharpie's just going to screw it up because it's too fat for drawing real detail. That comes down into that. Your knee, like I said, it comes more out. It's not in the center. This goes around and in. You have this, that, on your leg. If you're seeing this, it's because I put it up, but initially I just wanted to do a practice with this to see if it was worth putting up, because I didn't want to really screw up the first video I had by doing this, and I didn't know, because the first one I put up was more I was in the middle of drawing, and I decided to just do that real quick because I said the way I draw is pretty easy when I'm drawing a body, and let me put it up. But I didn't know people would just go that crazy about it, and it's been taking off fairly good enough to make me happy anyway. So I said, let's just do one where I turn and people will kind of understand the shapes of the body using the torso as a guide. Now, I haven't looked up to see if my camera was in focus or not, but hopefully it is. And if you are seeing this, hopefully you got some good tips off of this, even though it was a rough drawing. So there you have it. That's the way I do when I do the torso to make it a lot easier. So let me do this. Even when I draw, if I'm doing a thumbnail of a person, I will usually use, let me move this, for whatever position. If it's not just a stagnant, straight up position, if that person is bending over or doing something, I'll usually do this. Let's just say that's the position that I need. I'll then go ahead and do that. I'll follow that. Remember, following that, because his center line is down, my curve is going to be there. Stomach is going to be here. This is going to be there, which you see, which connects perfectly with the arm. So you got that deltoid. You got that. Here's your chest. Curve right here. Curve right here. Goes up into that. Here's your arm down here. Arm down here. And you come down. So here is, since he's crunched in, since he's twisted, it's going to come in like that and then back out. This is going to curve all the way around. So following this curved line here. So I'm going to bring this in a little bit more, coming down to that. I'm going to have my obliques here and here, like that, and then coming down into the crotch area. So I'm going to bring this down, and you can always adjust, because I would have maybe more of a back. Bring this in, and then the legs come in like so. Down, and then you bring your leg in, and then that works. It's a simple thing. I forgot my shoulders, and then the roundness for my neck, or roundness for my shoulders and your neck. Actually, these are your shoulders. These are your traps right here. So if I did it with a smaller pen, let's try this one. It would come out to be like this. And I just realized I didn't have my glasses on, but you know what? I'm seeing pretty fairly. In, down, and around. So this has got some twist to it. Your lats comes down to that. Your buttocks is right there. Your legs, your hips. And give them some lat right there. Bicep. This is your forearm. Coming here again. Remember, it splits right where that your bone, collarbone. And it actually goes around the back. Bicep, tricep, shoulder, neck, and head. And as I said, you don't always have to keep doing this, because if you really didn't master it, it comes out wrong a little bit. Sometimes it comes out wrong. So just having a center line is good enough. And a lot of times you have this piece for the obliques. Bring it out a little bit more. Bring the legs in. So basically that's how I do whenever I draw. I always use this little thing, and I call that the Beetle, because when I first did it, it looked like a beetle to me. And then one last time, because I'm a teacher and I like to show first step, circle, direction line, your U or your V, whichever one makes you feel better, your collarbone, leaving some space, your points, bring it up. This is going straight. Your V determines how fat your neck is, and then off of that line, your delts. Under that is your arm. Your delts are shape. Remember to keep the shape. Your arms, and coming down here, you want to just keep straight down, and then curve in for your crotch, and then your legs. So with that, wait, chest. Remember, chest is not too far up. It's not way up here. It's close to that point of that V here, and then turn to go up into your delts, and then that would be about it. I'm not going to worry about the ribs and so forth. That's just icing on the cake. And then when this comes down, well, depending, let's just bring it in. Let's just start right here and then bring it in and down. So there you have it. A quick, easy way to do the torso. So provided this is still in focus when I look at it, if it is good and I think you might have got something out of it, I'll put it up. So if you're seeing it, I put it up. All right, so with that, I will call it a day, and I will see you guys in another video. Hopefully that helped. Comment to me, tell me if it would work for you, if it was just a waste of time. So, all right, that's it. I'm out.